Hi dears, welcome back to the channel Benidorm by Anna. It's me Anna with you here, and today I'm bringing you a new very interesting topic. I thought that apart from showing you all the Benidorm area hotels, talking about the news and latest situation update, I would also love to include some information videos for you guys, because I know that a lot of you either live here, want to live here, or have a house here and come every now and then, or just love Spain and want to know everything about it. So today, cost of living in Spain. First of all, I want to leave one thing very clear. The cost of living for some people might not be the same as for the others. So I will try my best just to include all the basic things that you would definitely need once you come here to Spain and will live here for some time, maybe even forever, who knows. So I will not be including any kind of luxury goods and extras, just for the sake of all these videos, that you would know the minimum cost that you need to be able to survive in our sunny country. So I have here some things, some basic costs which I think should be included in this, and we will go through each one of them separately. First basic cost is house. You need to live somewhere when you come to Spain, right? So unless you have like family members or someone here who would leave their house for you and you would not need to pay for it, then that's just amazing news. But if it's not the case, then you might need either to purchase a property, or to rent a property, either for a short-term or a long-term rental. If you have a mortgage here in Spain for the property, then it's slightly easier because they tend to be slightly less than the rental prices here in Spain. For example, the best example ever, our apartment that we live in here, it's a rented apartment. We don't have any kind of mortgage so far. We're planning to do so. We're planning to buy a house in Spain, but for now it's just a plan. Short term, but a plan. So this type of apartment that we have, I'll probably be making a tour video for you guys on my other channel, Young Lady Vlogs, so make sure you subscribe right there as well. But it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment. One of them is en suite. You have separate living room, quite a big open air terrace. You also have the other terrace on the other side, a kitchen, hallway, like there's a lot of things. And in the house where we live, we have a heated pool, we have outside pool, children's pool, gardens, play area, and etc. So for this apartment, we pay 850 euros a month, each month. If it would be a mortgage, we would be paying like 400, 500, 600 euros maximum. So you see that there is actually a difference. The price for the apartments, if they are rented, depend a lot on where you have it, which part of Spain it is, and if it's a small apartment, if it's a studio, if it's a shared one, there is a bunch of different options here. But let's take like a minimum cost of a private apartment for yourself. The lowest prices are like around 350, 400 euros, more or less, okay? So this, you would need to pay only this amount already just for the apartment or a house. Then you also need to pay for electricity, for gas, and for water. These ones, more or less, a month would cost you approximately like 100 euros. It also depends on what you will spend on electricity and like water. The second thing is that you need to take into consideration that we are all people, we are live creatures, so we need to eat. Of course, we need to eat, and in this case, I've calculated it a few years ago already for myself that one person to have like basic needs in terms of eating would need approximately 50 euros a week minimum to survive. So it would make like 200 a month just for one person. If it's for two people, then it almost doubles itself. Also, there is a huge difference here in Spain with the supermarkets. I'll probably be doing a specific separate video for that. If you are interested to know which supermarkets are cheaper, which ones are more expensive, let me know and I will prepare that for you guys. But there are some cheaper supermarkets and there are also expensive supermarkets. So it's very important to which one you go, because it's not the same that the same basket would cost you like 50 euros or almost 80. So you have to take that into consideration when you move here to Spain and document yourself very well, especially if you're having a limited budget on your living here. Third part is very important one for me, and I think for a lot of people as well. This is an insurance, health insurance here in Spain. You know that we have both social security, which is a public health insurance, and then we have also a private insurance here in Spain. There is this type of option, which is paying monthly, like a sum of money, depending on what kind of insurance it is, if it's complete, if it's not. If it's basic one, then you pay this type of money every month, and you have a specific card with which you go to the private hospital and they get you checked and all the testing done, everything that is necessary, emergency included. So if you are just laying yourself on the social security, like public health insurance here in Spain, then you would need to have some kind of a work here. You need to be formally living, legally living here in Spain, have a work contract, have a rental contract or a property documents. Then you're allowed to have a social security and use our national health system here. Because right now already people that are coming from UK, you know that since it's not European Union anymore, these cards, they're not accepted anymore here at the hospitals. So basically this is the case. If you're having like a normal health insurance, Spanish one, then you don't obviously need to pay for it, so it does not make your expense increase even more. But if you choose to have a private insurance, right now a good private insurance would cost you around 35-40 euros each month. So this also sums up to all the costs that you would need to deal with if you decide to come here to Spain. Personally, my opinion, if you are coming with any kind of health issues, if you know that you periodically get checked up, then I would recommend you to get a private insurance, of course, if your budget is allowing you to do so, because it's a lot easier. With a private insurance, you can go to the hospital straight away. You do not have to go to your family doctor and be referred afterwards to the specialist of the area you need to go to. Here you can directly take with a traumatologist, with neurologist, a heart doctor like cardiologist, and etc. You can directly ask them for MRI scan, for PET scan, for echo, like a lot of different things you can ask them directly. You don't need to wait months or maybe even years to receive that, as you would if you would be going through the public insurance. So it's your decision to make, but at least you know already pros and cons. I would also be making a specific video about the insurance, private and social security. So if you don't want to miss that, subscribe here and it will be shortly here on the channel, probably next week already. So this sums up another approximately 40 euros for your budget and cost of living here in Spain. Next thing that I want to talk is about the car. Imagine that you're not coming to a big city, okay, that you're not coming like to Madrid, to Valencia, to Alicante, etc. You would need a car. Definitely you would need a car to move here, because our public transport system is not as good as in big cities and in other countries. So it's very difficult to communicate from one part to the other. If there are any buses, they are taking way too long to reach the end point of your destination. So the car is just the best option that you have. So if you're coming with your car, we're not going to be talking that you need to buy a car, but if you have already a car, you also need to some gasoline. So either like a diesel or a gasoline, depends on what your car is running on. So you need to sum up these expenses as well. Here, this depends already on a type of car that it is, if it's very consuming, like fuel consuming, if it's not. But I can say on my personal, on our family, on my personal car that we've purchased recently as well, we move a lot with the car, because you know that I'm going to film from Albier to Benidorm, from Benidorm like to other areas. So I'm moving around, spinning around through all this city all day long. So I use a car a lot, and we pay less than 200 euros a month for the fuel for the car. So you also have to know about it. And if you're using the public transport, of course, here right now in the area, the public transport ticket for only one use costs €1.55, but you can buy like a monthly one, like a card, and you can put the money on it. Then you get a discount, and it costs you approximately €1.20, more or less. So this also sums up to our cost of living, to our budget to be able to survive here in Spain. And then are coming all the extras. Of course, I call extras not something that is strictly necessary, but might come up eventually. And these are the things that are not luxury. Okay, we're not talking about like luxury shopping. We're not talking about renting like a boat. We're not talking about buying jewelry and etc. Okay, this is just basic things. So extras, I call them pharmacy. Okay, because every now and then you might get something, like you might get ill, or like a bruise, and you need something to cover it up. Anything at all, some kind of a cream, anything, vitamins, etc. I always put on my budget like approximately 100 euros a month for the pharmacy, just in case. You never know what might happen. Then the phone, of course, nowadays we all use our mobile phones. I've not seen any single person here that would not use it already. Sad but true story. So you also need to think on what you're spending on your mobile phone. If you have like a Spanish number here, probably that's what you're going to do if you're living here permanently. So you also need to add a cost of the contract for your mobile phone, for the internet, for like calls and etc. We personally pay here in Spain 54 euros, more or less, for the television. We have like a pack. We have a high-speed internet, a maximum that we can have, which is 600 MB. Then we have the fixed phone line. We have 3 more phone lines for our family, but we're a family of 4 people, so what would you expect in this case? So we're paying 54 euros a month, more or less. This also sums up to the expenses. Of course, my family, for example, we have a lot of other expenses. We are paying private insurance for 4 of us. We're paying private school, also private education for our daughter, which also is like a big chunk of our budget. But these are not basic, so I'm not going to touch them. Like private education, it's not a basic thing, so it's out of this list. So in general, of course, as well, you can like you might be in need of buying something, like shopping, some kind of new clothes for winter, some basic things that are also needed. So all this is going to the extras, but extras that every now and then, almost every month, are summing towards your budget. So we've talked about like basic, very basic things that you need, and I've calculated it some while ago, and I've checked it that actually you need at least 800 euros, at least, like it's an absolute minimum that you need here in Spain with all that I've told you, to be able to exist here, to be able to live here, and just get the basic food that you need with no like extra expenses, like no like expensive seafood and etc. Although seafood here in Spain, I must say it's not as expensive as you might think and as it is in other countries, so you will be able to get it every now and then with this type of budget. Okay, but 800 euros is an absolute minimum that you would need to be able to survive in our country. Some people were telling like, okay, I live like with 400 euros. Well, yes, but then like Red Cross is helping you out with some food. This is a very, very limited food supply and it's not sufficient to be able to like live healthy, right, and be able to get all the nutritions that you need and all the vitamins that you need. There are people that are living like in a social security houses or apartments, shared ones, of course that is, but we are checking at independent existing here in Spain, independent living in Spain. This is why this budget includes also a house and a food. So 800 is an absolute minimum, and this will be very, very tight, especially in hottest months of the summer and coldest months of winter, because this is when you'll be using a lot more heating or air conditioning, and then your final bill will get up quite a lot, especially with the electricity prices that we have right now here in Spain, which are just not stopping to grow. To live calm and like to not to count every penny on your account when the payments are coming through every first part of the new month, you would need approximately 1,000 euros, more or less, and all that is above 1,000 euros, I would call it comfy life. I would call it like relaxed, comfortable life where you're not worried as much about every single cent that you are spending. But this is taken into consideration that you would be living in a cheaper area in like in general here in Spain, maybe even here like in Benidorm area. If you will be living and taking some property in an area where it's more expensive to live, obviously this budget will increment itself, will increase in a few hundreds of euros. So this is what it is. This is approximately what the life here in Spain costs for people every month, of course depending on everyone's needs, but I've tried my best to put here some basics. If I did not include any kind of basics that you think should be included, write me a comment right here down below and I'm going to let you know the approximate price so that you could sum it up to this total budget. I hope you enjoyed today's video, my dears, and I hope you are interested in having more videos like this, more information videos, and if you do, leave me the themes and topics that you want to be discussed in the next videos. Thank you all for watching. I wish you an amazing day of today and I'll see you tomorrow in the latest news update. We have a lot to talk about. Bye!